From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today, we've got an NFC South matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. Fields this way up at the 17.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These two teams met up earlier in the year back in Week 4. And it was the visiting Saints who got the victory then. So they'll look for the season sweep here in New Orleans. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Jackson now. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff down to McCaffrey. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The Saints had 10 and 5 to start play. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd and 1, Jackson. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 42. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He's brought down by Terrell Burgess. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. To throw is Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Then their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the option, here's McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, this defense for the Falcons, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Garabay's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
From the 6.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Henry again on 2nd down.
He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Divine Diablo dropping him behind the line of scrimmage.
You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader. And quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing. And let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real. And it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 31-yard line. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A first down carry for Henry.
There for the stop defensively, Nick Bonito.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're a back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Second and 5 now. Tua trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because...
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Julian Blackman.
And the Falcons are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. It's Tagovailoa from his own end zone. He's got it complete. Derrick Henry. He's up to the 20. Bulldozes past him. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here.
And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour.
A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They'll run it again with Henry.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Shoves him aside. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Only needed 1 yard. He said, I'll get you more than that.
Yeah, yard, piece of cake, right? And if you're a defender, seeing the back of the jersey and being able to read his name, not a good thing. That means you're in chase mode. That didn't go well for them on that snap.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Derrick Henry with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Shaun Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Falcons go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On 3rd down, Jackson. It's Williams on the catch. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Tua sets up to pass it. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson, he's airing it out for Williams. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill as the first half is winding down. And the Saints have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. An extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead is now 10-7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers. He's got a man complete.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taken at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
86 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Henry. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just a series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
He was brought down there by Julian Love. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Henry up the middle.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
14 yards there and a Falcon first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Inside handoff, Henry. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Out of the gun on third down, here's Tua. He finds Corey Davis. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Fields this way up at the 17. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize.
We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Henry out of the pistol. And he's brought down.
134 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Here we go.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Derrick Henry with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the third quarter.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fields this way up at the 17.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. But they need their best drive of the game right here.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the 39, Jackson. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but wasn't enough to get them the completion.
And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jimmy Moreland.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Lambeau on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14.
Good. Makes the score Falcons 24, Saints 10.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. And he'll get this to the 32.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Slot man moves right. After the turnover, it's Tua. This one caught by Kittle. And they'll get this down to the 10. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Henry running right. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away.
Fields this way up at the 17.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Teron Johnson able to pick it.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation points, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
That tackle by Jeffrey Simmons.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Keenan Allen hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Falcons stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away.
Fields this way up at the 17.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers you would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
The conversion is no good.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
2 things to watch. First, his strength in being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Julian Love picks it, and the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Jackson looking to throw on third. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons' offense at the line. Well, CD, this is the ideal situation. The 4th quarter, you come out here late, not much time on the clock, with a comfortable lead, and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this offense, all game long, they've been powerful, they've been dangerous. You're exactly right. They can end this one on their own terms.